Okie dokie. Let's do some more random scale practice. But I have maybe some OBS setup to do. Thinking about how we can make this more useful in order to not always play the same scales all over again. I got these again. Just wheel of names. So our tonic is D, okay. Let's see what accidental we would get if we go sharp, if we go flat, or if we stay natural. It's D natural. Now the question is, what mode are we gonna get? What is the mode that we get? Let's turn the wheel on the mode. Okay. So it is D natural Mixolydian. Alrighty. Or just D Mixolydian. Then I need to think how we can make this better scale. Why not? But this is too much. We're just gonna call this just scale. Maybe. Let's go to properties. Maybe this is tiny. Let's see. Might make this bigger. Have to see how it looks. So we can fit enough data, but also not too much, because we don't need a whole book on this. It's not going to be like a whole bunch of stuff. The good old-fashioned editing. What do I want? I want to satisfy my OCD. And I failed. Let's bring this back. Maybe just do this manually. It doesn't have to be perfect, just have to be readable. Come on, why would it always move? I am cropping, I forgot. Never mind. Let's say that's good enough. Come on. Can I not get that value? It doesn't matter. Let's say that's fine. I'm just gonna lock the source. Select font. Let's make it bigger, maybe. How big should it be? I'm sorry, let's try 60. 60 is okay, then we can maybe fit even 2 lines. So our scale, and probably we want this alignment now to be on the left-hand side. That could make sense, maybe. Left, that's better. How many lines do we want? Maybe 2, not sure. Probably we can't even fit more than 2, can we? Let's see, this is D Mixolydian. That's what we drew. That's the mode we got. D Mixolydian. Okay. Do I even need to? Well, I mean, it's probably kind of obvious. Maybe let's make it like so. We should leave the tonic in there. And then we will need to locate the scale. That would make sense. That would make sense. Also, I have to see what it would look like on the other side because we spent more time there. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back for a second. So I have a keyboard to adjust stuff. I think I could increase this font size so nobody has to take out a magnifying glass. How big can we make this? Can it be 80? Yeah, but it's kind of huge, right? It's kind of huge. I can dial back on what? We don't need as much space now. Let's see, title caption. Just need to crop this again a little bit. Don't need that, not like so. How can we do this nicely? Kind of has the same. Let me try some characters. Let's see, Q and the G, that nothing gets cut off. Okay, that's fine. I can live with this for now. Lock these sources so they don't float. And let's see if we were to type out whatever this is going to be. So the Mixolydian mode is what? The Mixolydian mode is the fifth mode of the major scale, or the Ionian mode. Let's look at C major for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's play the whole junk together. This is C major. By that logic, if we want to find the Mixolydian mode, here we go to the fifth scale degree of C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we will find that if we start to play this scale on G, the fifth note of C, that we will get G Mixolydian. So our question now is, we need to kind of think in reverse. What is the parent major scale where D is the fifth scale degree? If the D is the fifth scale degree of the scale that we are looking for to play D Mixolydian, then we need to go down a fifth from D to find that parent major scale. If we go down a fifth, we land on G. So our parent major scale to play D Mixolydian is G major. Let's play G major. We got the 1 G, got the 2 A, 3 is B, C is the fourth, D is the fifth, E is the sixth, and F sharp is the seventh scale degree. Let's play it all together. So we will have Cordy spell out G Ionian. And now we will play the same note material, but we are shifting a fifth, and now D is our tonic, our root note, our home key. So let's play D Mixolydian. D is 1 now. So we are going to use the key signature of the parent major scale, which we figured out is G major. Let's switch to G major. So we got 1 sharp accidental, which is F sharp. Well, that's not what we're gonna do. I'm trying to think about how we make this layout smart. How can we... What would be good to do to spell this out? Should we just write down the notes in sequence? Like, what is our material? Our material is, as I said, dass ich bloß sinnlos rumnudel, sondern dass man auch ein paar mehr Daten hat, die man nachgucken kann, falls man das möchte. I'm sorry for switching into German. For anyone that doesn't understand German, which is probably a lot of people. Okay, let's write this down. So we got, I think maybe I can size down on the font size. It looks gigantic for no reason, really. I think this is easily readable. So got D, then we got E, then we have F sharp. Oops. Then we have G. Then comes an A. Come on now. Then we have an A. And kind of the simple alphabet that we do use here. Nee, ich kann auch Deutsch reden. Bis vor kurzem habe ich eigentlich fast immer nur Englisch auf diesem Channel gesprochen. Aber da ich die Absicht habe, in Voice-over-Narration irgendwie auch tätig zu werden und Englisch auch nicht meine Muttersprache ist, werde ich auf jeden Fall auch zunehmend mehr deutschen Content machen, wenn es Narration von Auszügen von Literatur ist oder Poesie, da wenn man nicht Muttersprachler ist oder bilingual ist, und ich denke, mein Englisch ist schon sehr, sehr gut, aber ich glaube nicht, dass es gut genug ist, um Charles Dickens als Audiobuch einzulesen. Und das könnte eine Qual für mich selbst sein, falls ich überhaupt jemals so einen Auftrag bekommen sollte. Und auch möglicherweise für den Zuhörer. Deutsch ist meine Muttersprache. Ich spreche ziemlich fließend Englisch. Ich denke teilweise Englisch. Aber pronunciation and enunciation, I sometimes mumble, and reading good literature well, especially for very lengthy audiobooks, you have to have really, really good diction. And I'm not quite there yet. And also, it doesn't have to happen. Es gibt so viel unfassbar großartige Literatur im Deutschen. Ich denke, auch was die reine Produktionszeit betrifft, würde ich mir selbst ins Bein schießen, sollte ich irgendein Ziegelstein-Format von Buch versuchen. Da habe ich wahrscheinlich sehr viel Spaß mit Editen und einfach nur den Text zu lesen. Ich auch nicht. Ich mache quasi so eine Art Selbststudium, aber ich überlege immer wieder, jedes Jahr irgendwie, ob ich nicht doch einen Weg finde, an der Hochschule für Theater und Musik zu studieren. Ich habe vor 2, 3 Wochen mit denen geschrieben, wegen einem Gasthörerschein. Ich habe die Frist für das Wintersemester verpasst und sowieso ist, ja, I don't know. Es ist relativ schwierig, in die Schule reinzukommen. Ich müsste mir sehr genau den Studiengang überlegen, der für mich interessant und oder relevant ist. Das, was ich am liebsten machen würde, ist auch gleichzeitig fast unmöglich, zumindest von dem Wettbewerb an der Schule. Ich würde mit Menschen konkurrieren, die mehr oder weniger bereits eine professionelle klassische Klavierausbildung haben. Und ich bin Autodidakt. Ich weiß, dass meine Technik und mein nicht vorhandenes Repertoire, das wird ein großes Problem oder eine Möglichkeit. Aber ich könnte vielleicht, wenn ich nicht versuche, für Piano da hineinzukommen, könnte es gehen, möglicherweise. Ich denke, ich werde erstmal versuchen, einen Gasthörerschein zu erwerben und dann ein paar Connections zu machen, um mich besser beraten zu lassen. Auf jeden Fall weiß ich, dass ich richtige Musiknerds finden muss und mich mit denen umgeben muss, weil ich will nichts anderes machen als das. Ähm, Ehrlich gesagt, ich finde, die Gitarre ist eines der wunderbarsten Instrumente. Ähm, Zurzeit versuche ich mehr Gitarre zu spielen. Die Gitarre hat sehr viele Vorzüge dem Klavier gegenüber. Im Gegensatz zu einem Klavier, was A meistens eine kostspielige Anschaffung ist, B sehr viel Platz einnimmt. Könnte ich noch nicht mal sagen. Ich denke an alle Instrumente, die fretless sind, dass das unfassbar schwer ist. Zumindest wenn man vor allem ein neuer Musiker ist, für die Gehörbildung. Und ja, es ist wahrscheinlich die Gewohnheit vor allem. Wenn du mit Geige angefangen hast, das, womit man begonnen hat, ist natürlich am einfachsten und natürlichsten. Wenn man es lange genug gemacht hat, hat man oft vergessen, wie es war, als man begonnen hat. Ich glaube, ich habe ein ziemlich gutes relatives Gehör, aber ich habe kein absolutes Gehör. Und wenn man, glaube ich, ein Instrument beginnt, das keine Buntstäbe hat, wo du einfach wirklich wissen musst, wo der jeweilige Pitch ist, das stelle ich mir so unfassbar schwer vor. Beim Klavier ist es relativ einfach. Du kannst nicht zwischen Noten sein. Das Klavier vielleicht selbst ist verstimmt, aber nehmen wir an, das Klavier ist gestimmt oder man spielt ein MIDI-Keyboard. Es ist immer perfectly in tune, equal temperament. You press one note and that's it. Ja, du nimmst die Worte quasi aus meinem Mund. Mit einem absoluten Gehör sind viele Sachen sehr viel einfacher zu bewerkstelligen. Wobei ich mir vorstellen kann, dass es möglicherweise auch Nachteile gibt, ein absolutes Gehör zu haben. In dem Sinne, dass man sehr viele Dinge als störend wahrnimmt, weil man einfach Pitches perfekt erkennt und wiedergeben kann. Ich glaube, das kann eine der schönsten und schlimmsten Sachen möglicherweise gleichermaßen sein. Eine Anekdote von Oscar Peterson, einem hervorragenden Jazzpianist, den du vielleicht kennst. Sie sind auf Tour und Oscar Peterson sagt zu dem Busfahrer, "Can you speed up or slow down? Because I can dream in B flat or something like that." Und wegen das Geräusch, das das Tourfahrzeug gemacht hatte, war offenbar B-Flat. Und er musste den Busfahrer bitten, entweder schneller oder langsamer zu fahren, damit die Vibration eine andere Frequenz als die Note hatte, die ihm offenbar vom Träumen abhält. That's pretty fucking insane, if you ask me. I need to get these notes down. Donau Atlas. Ich möchte unbedingt in Field Recording. Ich liebe eigentlich, es geht nicht nur für mich um Musik. Es kann auch einfach Sounddesign sein. I love everything about sound and music. Genauso wie ich jetzt erstmal wahrscheinlich 1-2 Stunden versuche, ein bisschen Tonleitern zu machen und zu überlegen, wie ich dieses Layout besser gestalten kann, dass es irgendwie einen didaktischen Mehrwert hat. Ich liebe Sounddesign. Es könnte genauso gut einfach nur Geknister sein oder White Noise, das gefiltert wird. Ich möchte auch unbedingt in Game Audio und vieles. Alles, was irgendwie akustische Phänomene. Ich muss mich einmal ganz kurz konzentrieren, das sollte nicht so schwer sein. Ich bin gerade mehr beschäftigt mit dem Layout. So, Demixolydian. Let me switch to English. Okay, I mean, we are just... Es ist, ja, mein Gehirn springt zwischen Deutsch und Englisch. B, C, and... Wow. Auf meiner Wunschliste bei Thomann habe ich einen Field Recorder, für den ich aber leider nicht das Geld habe. Und wahrscheinlich sollte ich, bevor ich in einen Field Recorder investiere, in ein dynamisches Mikrofon investieren und in Acoustic Treatment, da dieser Raum, sagen wir, nicht so direkt treated ist. Was auch ein Problem für meine Ambitionen ist, mehr Vocals aufzunehmen. Insbesondere, wenn es darum geht, Dry Vocals aufzunehmen, wie für Hörbücher. Dafür sollte ich ein anderes Mikrofon benutzen als ein Kondensator. Ja, genau. Ganz genau. This is a big problem. Let me show you something. Let's hide this for a second. I'm going to continue with that in a little bit. Also, let me just finish. So, I want to have the octave complete. Okay, but this looks so chunky. I need to reduce the size. Let's go back to, is 60 too small? It's not. I think this is big enough, and now I got some other OCD. I need this to be center again. Yeah, otherwise it just doesn't look nice. 1 second, now I need to crop it again. Tut mir leid für das ständige Wechseln zwischen Deutsch und Englisch. Es könnte sein, dass es den ganzen Abend so weitergeht. Genau, ich benutze das Rode, was ein wunderbares... What do you mean you normally close the stream of video? If you hear a Rode, you usually close down the you close the stream because you don't like the sound of it? Does it sound that terrible? Ich denke, dass es ein gutes Mikrofon ist. Vor allem für den Preis. Vom Preis-Leistungs-Verhältnis. Die Frage ist, denke ich, welche Referenzen man zu anderen Mikrofonen hat und vor allem, hast du so schlechte Erfahrungen mit Rhodes gemacht? Ich kann ein Screen benutzen, dann hört man nicht so viele Reflections. Ich habe hier ein Mic-Screen, aber der nimmt ein bisschen Platz ein. Ich denke, es hängt viel davon ab, oder es hängt eigentlich ausschließlich davon ab. Ich denke, kaum ein gutes Mikrofon, was auch immer das sein mag, ist einfach gut oder schlecht. Die Frage ist, ob es gut oder schlecht für die jeweilige Anwendung in der jeweiligen Umgebung ist. I think it's absolutely tied to the purpose. The right mic for the right source in the right environment. This is not, but bear with me. But I wanted to show you the EQ. If this is not in the mic's screen, yeah, well, I would use a Neumann too, but I'm broke. It's not that I would not use or maybe choose a U87 over this one, but as it's kind of there's a price tag with these microphones, and that's kind of out of reach. But really, I think every microphone is good. The question is, what are you using it for and where? That is a smart thing, but I'm often very hesitant to buy electronics secondhand unless I can test it prior or I have the ability to return it if there should be an issue. What did I want to do? I wanted to show you what this microphone is recording. It records everything. Let's bypass the EQ. I don't know your channel. Can you send me a link? Can you give me a link to your channel? Give me a sec. I mean, look at that. Seriously, just look at it. Look at it. I'm not going to talk. I'm gonna make sure all these connections are right. Might be a little bit loud for a second. Look at all this data, all this low-end stuff. This here, when I stop talking, in this area where I leave the mouse, that is my PC fan. Yeah. If this microphone is, if I have it in the screen, it's no problem. But as I said, I want to get into audiobook narration. I'm dreaming of an isolation booth, but that is also kind of pricey. About 10 to 20K. But I need one. I do need one. What's wrong with the EQ? I'd beg to differ. I think it's needed. There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason for me. Okay, maybe I don't need this one. Hold up. I might not need the EQ per se. I think it all depends on the voice. It absolutely is. I think there is no such thing as being able to say in advance and for all cases. I think with music and with sound and with recording, it's always one of the beloved, well, it depends answers. Like to say the EQ is not necessary, I'm gonna stop talking for a second. And then we can look at just this low end data that is almost not audible unless you really turn up amplification or have incredibly great ears. I think it is also, it depends on what is it going to be used for. I try to do as little as possible. And I think we are not doing all that much. But I'm gonna just stop talking and we look at this. Everything below 40 Hertz. Most consumer grade playback devices don't even reproduce this. I'm quite sure if I just shut up for a little bit and we can look at some meters, you are not able to hear this. So I'm gonna high pass everything as much as I can, and I'm pretty convinced that you won't be able to hear much of this unless you really crank up the output and have headphones or playback device that is even capable of reproducing anything between 20 and 40 hertz. I mean, you told me that you have perfect pitch, so your hearing is definitely better than most people's hearing. But even still, then, the human hearing is pretty specific, and it is not equal across the whole audible frequency spectrum. I mean, you're probably familiar with the term the Munchen-Fletcher curve or whatnot. Like, I would be even sure to make a bet, even not knowing you well enough, but knowing that you are obviously a very musical person with perfect pitch, and even if you have incredible playback, if you were to do enough blind tests, I'm quite sure you will be surprised that while you will probably have stellar hearing compared to most people, that even if we were to record some sources in the same environment with various microphones, and you had to blind test them, A, B, I'm quite sure you would be surprised how often you will be wrong. Because I imagine myself to have very good hearing, and sometimes when I do blind tests, I'm very surprised how often I'm just wildly guessing. Well, then I say you probably got me again there. You know your stuff. But I try to always have an open mind. Like, I mean, if you know if you know that you don't like a certain microphone, of course, then you're not going to use it. But I think it really always depends on context. Everything is pretty insignificant without context. One thing by itself might sound better than something else to one personally, but I think it's always the question about what is the vision, what is the mission, and where is it going to be applied? And if it is commissioned work, what is the criteria set by the client? Maybe I have a preference, but what if my client says, I want you to narrate this with this and that microphone specifically? Well, maybe I think I don't like that microphone. Or if I would be tracking and producing someone, say I had a collection of microphones, and I would personally think, I think this microphone sounds best for your vocal, but maybe the vocalist loves that one microphone because it makes him feel good in the booth. I'm not going to argue with my client about it. It's their time, it's their money, it's their vision. I'm just there to help. That's at least how I see it. Okay, let's get back to trying to make this visual outlay somewhat better for scale shenanigans. Like, this was our exemplary random scale, and I'm going to play some of this, but I'm not quite done yet. No, this is wrong. It's still blue noodles, but this is what I mean, exactly. There is no good or bad microphone. The question is the microphone the right one for the sound that I want to have is it the right microphone for that specific source in that specific environment? I don't have, also, I'm restricted to use what I have. There's no, I mean, of course, if I had a big collection of microphones, yes, I would experiment with it. But I think even sometimes, even if I had a Newman U87, which would be amazing, it also would have the same problems that this microphone has in this untreated space. If this space is treated, then it would probably be better for me to use the good old trusty hammer microphone that you can probably use in the apocalypse, like the SM58 or something. It's just a good old dynamic microphone that works everywhere. It all is, where is it going to be used? On what is it going to be used? For what is it going to be used? It all depends. It's all relational, at least to me. Okay, let's continue. This is still wrong. Where is it? There it is. Maybe I want to drag this up here. So we have these funky things. Why are they on top of that? Oh, because come on, what's wrong with me? Oh, wrong source. I remember now. I'm not that smart. I must not forget. Demixolydian. Okie dokie. The question is, do I want another line to write down scale degrees? Not so sure. Okay, anyway, I talk too much. Let's make some music. And I still need to add your channel. I'm sorry, I must have missed it. I'm sorry. What specifically do you want to know? Then I might have a... Gotcha. All right. Okay, I got your channel. I'm not familiar, no. Not familiar. Not consciously. I'll have to find out. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar. I will have to write that. Well, founder of piano book and Spitfire. Oh, interesting. Just a couple of days ago, I did trial some. Well, trial is not the right word. It's free libraries. Spitfire Symphony and Spitfire BBC yada yada Discovery. I trialed them. I will have to check him out. He must be amazing, I guess, because I certainly, from what I've heard from other and real composers, or in my DAW. And over the years, I listen to less and less music because I'm so busy trying to find my own voice. Local off, external clock on. Am I tracking? I hope so. So it's still D Mixolydian, right? Let's play G major first, because that's our parent major scale. And we will shift this to its 5th degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Da, da, da. We are going to use the same notes, but we are going to use the notes like we wrote them down at the top of the screen. Our tonal center is shifted by a 5th. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Let's look at what has shifted. What is the difference of D Mixolydian and D major? Let's play D major and let's look at the difference of the two modes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the Mixolydian mode, we have a flat 7. Usually we would a pretty obvious example of, in the context of blues, would be maybe a little figure or movement like that. We'll get the basic triad. You want to talk on WhatsApp tomorrow? Yeah, it's no problem. Are you also using Discord? Then I can send you my number there. Let's say in this blues context. Yeah, sure, there's no problem. I just don't want to type my cell phone number because this is my only phone. I don't want to type my cell phone number in this YouTube chat and Twitch chat. I don't think it would be smart. Because the internet has become very bot infested. And I hate my telephone ringing. Especially if I don't know who's on the other side. But do you use Discord or so? Because I need to find a way to send you the number so you can contact. Or if we want to actually make it a bit more bluesy, what would make sense would probably to apply the blues scale. What does the blues scale in... What blues scale would be right to apply? So we are in D mixolydian, right? We could use a couple of different blues scales, I suppose. We could, of course, take the D major blues scale. Yeah, sure. This should be no problem. So that will be our D major blues scale. We could use this one. Or alternately, we could use what? We could use the minor blues scale, which is the same notes, just starting a minor third below. So it would be the B minor blues scale. That is one sour note. Let's try to maybe avoid it for the most part. What other scales could we use? As our apparent major scale is G major or Ionian, we could probably also play the G major blues scale or the E minor blues scale. Let's try that out. But I think we probably stay on the D major blues scale. Okay, I'm getting a bit too creative, I think. We kind of left the Mixolydian mode with that. Not too much. Did I catch up with Discord enough? Are you using Discord, or do you have an email in on your channel? Then I can just email the number, because I'm still thinking about how to send you the number. What is biting so bad? How do we come to play the A major blues scale over that? Keeps connecting and reconnecting. Sorry for the hiccup. I always say I'm a musician, I'm not a technician. All this technology drives me mad. Good evening, pros. I'm not aware. I think there's a music event probably every day somewhere in the world. It's hard to be up to date with anything nowadays. So much is happening. yeah, I mean, it's just good music. Okay, International Jazz Day. Maybe that's something that should be on my calendar. But like I say, I pretty much live under a rock. I know of Herbie Hancock. He's a very well-known person. I'm quite familiar. But I didn't know that he was the head of this organization or event. But he probably deserves to have that chair. He's a very established musician. Also, he is one of the few pianists that probably have equal respect in both domains. While he's probably for many decades already a household name, at least to me, but there's a very few musicians that bridge classical and jazz. It is often, even if people are objectively good, there is still a whole lot of elitism to both music, be it classical or jazz. Unfortunately, there's many people that have some really distorted elitist views on what it should be and what it should sound like. And if you have been famous for one, then they will not give you credit to be well versed in the other. And it doesn't matter which way, it goes both ways in this community or these communities, which is a sad thing. I never understand how people that love music that is so beautiful can be so narrow minded. It's pretty sad if you ask me. Never know. I don't have a schedule, you know. I think I should still be doing this for quite some time. At least until I hear some neighbors knock that I need to stop rattling these damn keys. But until then, I think I will rattle these keys, because what else? You know, it's It's my OBS or my internet connection. It is flip-flopping this whole stream. I think there have been 3 or 4 disconnects and reconnects. I don't know what it is, but then again, like I always say, I am a musician, I'm no technician. What the hell do I know anyway? That reminds me of something else. I can't quite point my finger on what I think I hear. What did happen? I switched into something else. Are you also doing other sound design? Are you recording and processing the assets, or are you also working adaptive audio? Because actually, one of the many things on my task list is to learn either Fmod or Wise, so I can work game audio and also use middleware to implement. But since today, I probably have opened both programs for less than an hour each. And I don't know nothing about it. Okay, that's very dope. It's always good to have friends in different domains of art and media. It can create a lot of synergy. And there's always so much to learn from people that use other mediums than the main medium that one is used to. I become more and more interested in visual arts. I mean, my heart is in music and also literature. yeah, this is why I want to get more into sound design and why I should learn adaptive audio middleware. Because even if I was concert level piano good, it's still hard to make money with that skill. There's a lot of excellent concert hall ready or even with diploma musicians that are not getting hired enough to make ends meet. And many will have multiple income streams and still will need to do teaching and this and that. And that's also a reason why also I'm self-taught, so I'm not having any outrageous and probably I'm not even aware enough how big that gap is. Like, seriously. That's amazing stuff. I know nothing about Dolby Atmos. I mean, yes, I've heard of it. I've watched a couple of videos and whatnot. I heard some people that are professionals in the field talk about the pros and cons about it and how it is good for some stuff and how it is killing other stuff that, dude, listen to it in stereo. That's fair enough. But yeah, again, if you asked me 10 years ago, I would be much more into all this gear debate. But the longer I'm using all this technology, the less I'm interested in the technology itself. All I care about is it getting the job done that I think about? Like, kind of try to really not allow myself to add more tools, to add more gear, unless it is essential. And to learn what I already got. Like, I think I'm a pretty well-seasoned user of Reason. I've been staring at the software forever. Also, I should spend more time actually to off-stream, because I got finally accepted into beta testing and I cannot show that publicly. And I have not even spent enough time, and I have 2 or 3 bugs to report that minor things, but yeah. Long term, I really want to contribute more to Reason because I love the software. It's all that I use all the time. And also, I want to be useful for them, so maybe at some point in a not so distant future, they will just give me a lifetime subscription that I don't have to pay for anymore. Because we are doing all this music all the time here, learning some scales, learning how to twist some knobs to no end. And all that is free. And by coincidence, I'm kind of like an advertising board to some extent to them. And most of the time, I only say good things about them. So long story short, I need them to pay my subscription for me. Because why not? I'm pretty sure they could do that. I even got back on the gram, the Instagram, and I do fucking hate social media. I only did this with the intention of posting stuff like very short edited videos, either something Reason related or a scale. I'm talking about ReasonStudios, the one that I showed you earlier, where we were talking about EQing and had this debate about, is a microphone good or bad in of itself, and do you need to EQ? And I was like, it always just depends. And yes, in my case, yes, I do need to EQ. There's no reason you should hear anything from this microphone below 40 hertz, and there's a good chance that you don't, even if it's there. So no, I will use EQ, and I will cut that out. Expensive? I think $20 a month is okay. Okay, I'm getting bored of demixylating. I do feel the sentiment. And if it's possible, I would say, if it's possible not to subscribe and get something more final, then yes. But on the other hand, technology is moving so fast. And it's not just to bow to these companies, but I'm not a computer scientist or anything close. But as software needs to be updated on such a regular basis, there is actually a very good reason for subscriptions to exist. All the continuous work needs to get paid, and you do want your software that you use, whatever software that is, to be up to date with what is out there. You have no control about most of your operating systems unless you are a Linux super user. And if you are working professionally and you are forced to use certain industry standard software, if you are video editor and you use, what is it called? I forgot again, Adobe, or if you use whatever, this stuff needs to be updated all the time. Drivers update all the time. Everything needs to be up to date or you will have a problem. And if you have a client and a project and a deadline, you better make sure you can make that happen. And if it's possible not to have subscription, yes. But sometimes a subscription can be a good idea, depending on use. I would try to refrain from making just an emotional decision about it, like, I don't like subscriptions. There could be maybe a software that I want to use just for a period of time. And if I buy the standalone, I will be losing 4 digits, but maybe I just need it for a short amount of time. Say, I want to use some orchestral libraries that I don't need to use forever. Then maybe a subscription for a bundle of great libraries would suit me better than owning them for the sake of owning them. That's at least my opinion about it. I've heard people do that. I do have DaVinci Resolve on my machine. It's not that I really know how to use it. I know about Fairlight a little bit, but I'm so used at looking at DAWs. And it's not that the Fairlight engine is not good or something, but if it's just really for designed for the work with moving picture, that's what it was made for. I think the main usage for DaVinci Resolve is also not even video editing, it's color grading. That's how they became so big and famous. And I'd be thinking like, if I'm just really concerned, at least for me, with sound, there's a million DAWs I'd choose over maybe DaVinci Resolve, even if that's free. Free is always great, you know? What's nonsense? What I just said? That they're mainly for color grading? Let's draw a new scale. I talk too much. No, I didn't speak about Fairlight. The Fairlight engine is for sound, I know that. I was saying the whole program, DaVinci Resolve, started out mainly for color grading. The Fairlight engine is an engine that handles audio, I know that. But what I mean to say is, while it may not be bad, there have been like countless other very well made, designed DAWs out there for ages. And it's not that I have too much experience with Fairlight and what it can and cannot do. What I was saying is, the whole program is for moving picture. It is made so you can work on audio, usually, at least as far as I'm concerned, in the conjunction as sound design or a soundtrack for a moving picture. There's a million DAWs that you could be using that probably have some superior features to Fairlight. And I'm kind of guessing a little bit in the dark, as I don't really use DaVinci Resolve much at all. What? Yeah, I think we are kind of getting lost in translation. Either I'm not making sense in what I'm saying, maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe I'm not making myself clear, or you're missing the point. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I would always try to be refrain from having very fixed opinions on all of this. Like, I think I still have a copy of Ableton Live Lite. I've seen a whole lot of videos of Fruity Loops use this. I've looked at Pro Tools. Every now and then I'm contemplating to actually add Pro Tools to my collection. I know that Reason is the DAW that I prefer working with because I'm very used to it. Yeah, I know, it gets translated. And that's why I also said maybe we get lost in translation. But I talk so much, I need to draw some more scales and make more music. I just talk. I wanted to practice. And now I am talking gear. And I really don't really, I'm really not that interested in gear. I'm interested in what you do with the gear, whatever that gear or software is. To me, it is all inconsequential. Okay, new scale. We got G natural Aeolian. What is that? That is just G minor. Let's find G minor. G minor should be what? G minor should be the brother or sister of B flat major. Is that right? That sounds horrible. It sounds like a whole tone scale, which it was. I got some terrible MIDI lag. I don't know what's happening. Maybe I need to restart my machine. Let's move to the other scale for a second. No, my whole system is weird today. This has been the 20th disconnection. No, it's not you. It's not you, it's me. But for real. It's not you, it's me. Just G Aeolian, that's boring. Maybe let's look also at the other minor modes. So we have G natural minor or Aeolian. And then we can also play, of course, the melodic. And I love playing the melodic minor for so many reasons. It's a good scale practice exercise because traditionally the melodic minor gets played when you are ascending the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have the raised 6 in comparison to the natural minor. Instead of E flat, we have E. And instead of F, we have F sharp. So the whole scale looks like and sounds like this. And if we just play the last bit of it, yes, it's the Chordy app, I'll show you. The Cordi app is amazing. If you are a by ear player and you want to learn more theory and you have no teacher like I, then it is a very good idea to invest into this app because it can really help you to understand, learn what you can already play and make more sense of it and just get used to it. Oh, interesting. I always play this chord. What is it actually? And then you see, it's E flat major 6 over G. What does it look like on the staff? And if you are into playing more instruments, or especially guitar, as long as it's frettable, then you can see how it possibly could be fretted, which is, I think, very amazing. And if you want to share the music that you play with other people, or even for myself, because this channel is pretty modern, then it also is a record for me. Sometimes I forget to press record. And then if I should happen to have played something that I actually want to memorize, that is, if I have not already memorized it, because if I do really like something, there's a good chance I know it by heart then, pretty fast. But if I should forget, then I can go back, watch my stream, and when Cordy was on, I can look just for that passage, and then I know what I did, which is super handy. And if someone else cares for the note that have been played, then that person has some kind of value. I often say, I think without Cordy, I'm not quite sure if this streaming would make any sense for me. Or for you especially. For me it would, but if it would make sense for the viewer, I doubt it. Weird change. Where did we come from? We came from what? Also, this is not right. If I am supposedly in what? What did I say that I'm in? Well, it's not wrong either, but... in that case, I should talk significantly less. First, it takes bandwidth from me listening and focusing on to what I play. And also, I'm talking over the music, as far as it's enjoyable. So it's a lose-lose situation. Unless I'm getting asked a direct question, I should just shut up, I think. That must have been a time that I was not talking, I suppose. Because actually, I personally, over the vast majority of this stream, if I didn't know myself, which is funny to say, how well do I know myself anyway? This is the problem. I just talk way too much and I always try to be funny. thank you. But I can probably show you pretty much exactly what I did. I have a very good guess at how that music, that little sample came to be. I probably played something in the diminished six. Let's try to play the diminished six in G minor. For that we have to first locate the melodic minor of G. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, raised 6, raised 7. So our scale looks like this. But we still have to add our diminished 6, which is what? That would be E flat. So our scale should hopefully sound like this. Ooh, that was pretty criminal. That's wrong. I'm quite sure I went down the diminished 6. In either major or minor, I can't remember. Doesn't matter really. I probably played 1 or 2 chords like that. Then there was a cymbal. Still ReasonStudios. I'm pretty sure how that sample came to be was pretty much ReasonStudios. ReasonStudios. Pretty sure. Maybe let's just stay on a 2-chord change. So we should have what? 1 minor 6, 2 diminished, 3 minor 6, which is actually 1 minor 6, but just inverted. I probably did something like... I need to stop talking. I can't hear right. Why is it so fast? We're in 120, but we hear 1. If we had 2, we'd be in 60. This is 30. Ugh, that's very slow. How do I think that 60 is fast? I'm slow. Okay, we stay in 60 BPM. Doesn't really matter. Let's try to make something. Need to find for something that is loop worthy. I'm sorry, Da Vinci Girl, but I still don't get your argument. I don't see how this is not compatible with other DAWs. Everything is compatible nowadays. It's all compatible nowadays. The question is only if you can make one work with the other. Like I can export this MIDI and you can render wave. Everything works with everything. The question is if you can work everything. That's the different question. But if you kind of learn one DAW, then you probably will survive using another DAW. Where is this piano coming from? This piano is Keyscape. Keyscape. It is a Yamaha C7. And the reverb is from Valhalla. But all these details don't really matter at all. Everything could be switched out for something else. I could have switched out the DAW, I could have switched out the piano sample, I could have switched out the reverb. It all doesn't really matter. And then I took a trumpet or something. Yeah. And also I think in principle, this is like this comes down really most to preference, and it becomes a philosophical debate about nothing in the end. Some people like apples, some people like oranges. They are not very comparable. Well, maybe bad analogy for comparing DAWs. They are much more comparable than apples and oranges. But like the jazz standards, tomato, tomato, do what makes you happy. In the end, Nobody cares about the gear. Other music and audio nerds might be interested, but even them, I find that often the it's interesting sometimes to see what somebody else has used, but really the longer I've been looking and staring down at a DAW, if I listen to a track, my first question would never be, what sample piano library did you use, or what compressor did you have on your master bus? Like, I couldn't care less. The question is only, does it feel nice to me? And does it make me feel something? And if I can say yes to both of these questions, then the mission is already accomplished and the rest is inconsequential. It doesn't matter. Tomato, tomato. And I'm quite sure also we are having some language barrier problems with all the translation shenanigans. I think if we were to talk in German, maybe we wouldn't have the issues that are probably imagined by both of us. Okay, let's keep this looping. Oh, that was not the idea. Let's keep this on the loop for a second. Then I'm gonna find a nice trumpet, and then we sample that, and then it's pretty much the sample you heard last time. Or something close. You can already get the sampler. Let's get the sampler. No. There's something wrong with this. It's called trumpet here. What's it called in the mixer? Interesting. Let's see. Trumpet. Mixer. EQ. Okay, that works. That should work. Why not? What? What did I do? Oh, I'm just stupid. I think I can't decide. I can't decide if we use a trumpet or a trombone. We were talking about a sample I sent in for last week's popcorn night, and how that can be very easily be created. Let's take this trumpet. But my mind's, yeah. Multiple minds. My hearing and my focus are very elusive. Probably it would take me too long before I get bored or before you get bored to track something that makes some sense. But just for demonstration purposes, I will just noodle a little bit around. I'm not going to track the MIDI for the now muted trumpet again. We will just sample and to mimic, and then you can see how quickly really it is. The sample is having 3 different sounds. It is a cymbal that is absolutely on the grid. It doesn't do much. It's like a ride doing, I don't know, every other bar. And then it's some pretty basic piano stuff. I think probably 2 chords, some minor chord, and then basically an octave and some notes in between to make it sound like something would happen, but it doesn't really happen that much. So we have G minor 6, and then we play another octave of G, and we just fill out the middle, and then it kind of sounds like something, but we're not really doing all that much. It's still just some G minor 6 chord, nothing crazy. This is one of the advantages of a piano. You can cover a lot of range, sonically speaking. It sounds like more than it is. It's an illusion. What? I don't play zither. I don't know how to play zither. I wish I had, but I never even held one in my own hands. Maybe I played a virtual zither, but I'm not quite sure what kind of musician you think I am. Like, maybe I would have to look for. Is zither the tar? I'm not 100% sure. There's two instruments that could come into question, for me at least. Zither could either be some kind of Asian form of guitar, or it could be a sitar, which is the Indian, also a string instrument, that Indian thing. So I'm not quite sure which instrument you mean, but I'm not sure that I would. Anyway, long story short, it's getting late. I just want to noodle a little bit with this trumpet, with this piano loop before we all get too tired of this, and sample it into Mimic, and then just turn 2-3 knobs in Mimic. You're kind of like a museum. Okay, I need to mute my microphone for a second because I get stuck in conversation. I just want to sample this, loop something quickly, and tweak some knobs, and kind of show you how I made this sample last time. Okay, that should be enough for our purpose. I'm starting to get bored. And then I kind of just put it into the sampler. And I think I just pitched it down a little bit, and that was that. Why do I hear nothing? That's interesting. Am I doing something wrong? And then probably, so it's not super dry, I'll probably send it to an aux send effect like this one, and send something into delay and reverb. I think that was pretty much the sample, kind of. I need to catch up with the chat. Okay, interesting. To study in the Netherlands is not an option for me. I'm unfortunately tied down to stay where I am for various reasons that I don't need to elaborate. Sometimes I speak about it, but I I can imagine he is. I would be interested in meeting these people, of course. I mean, like, I'm usually just doing this music thing by myself in my room. This is why I'm considering going to the Hochschule für Theater und Musik to find more professional musicians to mingle with and to work with, and also especially to learn from. But if you were inclining that studying in Enschede is an option, I mean, it's an option for me to meet these people in Hamburg, but for the foreseeable future, I can't leave Hamburg for various reasons. I have family stuff why that ties me down here. It sounds absolutely interesting. Just have to talk more and can probably make that happen. I mean, you're in Hamburg, I'm in Hamburg. As far as I understand it, these guys are in Hamburg. Um, I'm unemployed. I kind of got time, at least for meeting people for music. If it's not super far away in Hamburg, because I don't have a car. And also, I don't even have Deutschland ticket at the moment. And I still kind of need to pay the fine from last time. I think it's getting expensive now. And maybe I shouldn't even say this publicly. Anyway, I'll just send you. I think it would be best to have probably the majority of conversations in German, because if you're talking to your phone and the language model is translating, that is cumbersome for you, I think. And also, these language models are, they are okay, but certainly knowing the language would be much easier for mutual understanding. We should probably speak just German then. And I haven't really done that much. I wasn't sure. For the better half of this stream, I thought we were even arguing about. That's just my 2 cents. I tried to bring myself into a state of not having too fixed of an opinion of anything. That is not to have no spine, but to keep an open mind. Because what do I know in the first place? And there are so many perspectives to be had. And everything is relational, and it all always depends on a multitude of factors that are often unfathomable. So yeah, long story short, it was a pleasure talking. I'm gonna send you the. I'm going to go to your YouTube, and I can send you. Yeah, I'm a one-trick pony. I can only do one thing at a time. I can either talk or make music. If I have to do both simultaneously, then both is not. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna cut the stream because it's no use. I'm already very tired and not focused, and I'm just yapping, and I'm not quite sure how much sense I make. Why is it so goddamn loud? This last bit is so crazy loud. And how is it there's so many obvious transients? How is it not latching onto all these transients? If I increase it more, then I get so many other transients. And I don't want to go in there and... Yeah, I just wanted to demonstrate a point of how that sample was made. All right, you guys. I'm sorry for all these interruptions. Let's save this file as something. Save it as... What's the date today? It's the 26th. Let's just create a copy of the previous file with an updated date and call it a day. As always, it was a pleasure. Maybe next time more music and less talking, because if I talk so much, you can't hear the music if there's actually music happening and not just noodles. And also for myself, I can't really practice and focus while I talk. Talking is a very exhausting activity, and I do love talking. I think people have noticed. I talk a lot. I'm guilty. But it takes so much bandwidth, and it is the thing about trying to listen to the inner ear and trying to listen to the muse. I kind of try to think of it as if I want to find a radio station, I have to dial in the right frequency. And while I'm trying to receive a message, I cannot be sending all kinds of messages loud because all this gets juggled up in a big soup of interference. So in order to listen well, one has to shut up. So in the future, it's not that I don't want to talk or answer questions or just chit chat with you anyway, but I need to get back to a routine where I really practice much more hours and much more intensely. And once I start talking, all that is pretty much not happening anymore. At least not to the level that it needs to happen for me to get better. Still, long story short, I gotta hit the deck, and you folks need to catch some sunlight with your face. Just groove it and stay funky. May the muse be with you. Happy creating and happy practice. Peace.